Hey friends, today I want to share with you 4 ways to bring God into your homeschool. Welcome to the Confidence to Homeschool podcast with me, Kelsey Shalane. I'm a lover of all things Jesus, an exceptional wife to an exceptional husband, and a homeschooling mama of 4. Together, let's trade in those insecurities and questions of if you can homeschool for the confidence that homeschooling was the right decision for you. Through simple homeschooling techniques, growth in God, and small mindset shifts, we have the power to change generations and set our kids' hearts tuned to the Lord and a love of learning. So grab your lukewarm coffee, because who gets to drink it hot anyways, and let's shave off years of that how to homeschool learning curve. I think that it's so important whenever we're choosing to homeschool that we are also choosing to partner with God, our homeschool experience. And that is one of the ways that I feel like I have been given the patience, the understanding. And I'll tell you what, there's been so many times that we've been in the thick of homeschooling and I have gotten really frustrated. And I take a second and I walk away and I tell Addison, you have a 5-minute break, or maybe a 10 or 15-minute break, depending on what it is that we have going on. And I go in my room, shut the door, breathe, and pray for wisdom on how to handle the situation without being harmful, because it's so easy for me to slip back into being frustrated whenever I was going to school and put some of my stuff on my daughter. And I don't want to do that. At one point in time, when I was frustrated with her and ready to quit homeschooling, one of my thoughts was, I'm being just as harmful to her as school was to me growing up. And that was not the goal. And that's whenever I chose to take a break, take a step back, and go back to making school fun. All of that to say, it's so important to be able to factor God into your daily day of homeschooling. So I'm going to give you 4 practical tips on how it is that you can bring him into your homeschool. First thing, praying out loud. You can either start each of your days of homeschooling with prayer and devotion. There's some really cool books for devotionals for kids, and like I have mentioned before, the Louis Giglio book that pairs science with homeschooling, pairs science with God and gives you great information there. But I think that it's also important to pray out loud just in your everyday life. Lord, help me to find my keys. They're really getting to show all of the times that you pray out loud for different things. You give God opportunities to show up and show your children that he cares about even the little things and that he takes care of your prayers. And it's a very cool thing to watch. The other day was up in our kids' room and the TV was messing up. And we just moved into our new rental house, and the TV is first night totally screwed up. And I looked at my husband and I just said out loud, Lord, please help us to figure this out. And I'll tell you what, the next button this man pushed, it worked. And he looked at me and the kids looked at me and I was like, he cares, even about the small things. You just have to ask him for his help. And so I really love giving the kids that opportunity to see that they can pray about anything in the world that they could possibly want. I do disclaimer that with God is not a magic genie. He is not here to show up in however it is that you want him to. And oftentimes he's going to show up differently than what you're actually praying for. So you do have to be mindful about what you're praying, but you can pray for absolutely anything. So that is one of my favorite ways to show them the love of Christ, is praying out loud. Lord, help me to do whatever it is that you're needing. If you need the energy to wake up in the morning, Lord, help us to wake up refreshed. Help us to have a good night's sleep and to feel good when we wake up in the morning. Whatever it is, I think it is a very important thing to be praying out loud with your kids. Step number 2, thanking him when something happens. I have gone over this before in a different podcast. I thank him when someone almost gets hurt and he offers protection over them. I thank him when I find whatever it is that I am looking for. I thank him when something good happens. I thank him when something bad happens. I think because anytime something bad happens, there's also going to be a silver lining. We had a house fire. We now have been out of our house since August 25th, but now that we're on the other side of it, we've learned a lot of life lessons, and now we're getting to put our house back together the way we wanted it. You know, we bought this house as a cookie cutter house because the market was crazy, and this is when everybody was paying over asking for the homes by like 10 to 20 grand, and they were not even worth that. But it had to be done because that was just the market at that period of time. So we got this house that we got no options on. It was being built, and we had a lot of things we would have done differently on it. And now we're getting the opportunity to go and put some of those fun things in that we absolutely love. And so I just make sure to give all credit to God whenever those things are actually happening. So make sure that you're thanking him out loud for the different things that he is doing in your life, the big things, but so much more importantly, the small things. That's going to make your heart happier as well. And it doesn't have to be written in your daily gratitude. You can just thank him right there on the spot in front of your kids. Step number 3 of showing them God on your daily walk is showing them how to prioritize him, aka shower time. We have talked about showing up and letting them know that you are spending time with God and that that's a priority. We talk about our Bible streaks in front of our kids. And Sunday morning, I do not have a church that we absolutely love here. We've not found a great community here that I enjoy. But Sunday mornings, they know no matter what it is that we have going on, I'm going to stop and I'm going to watch my sermon. Period. End of story. Done. It's a priority. You do not have to go to church on Sunday morning in order to be showing them how to make God a priority in their every single day life. You need him every second of every day, not just Sunday mornings, and then you're done for the week. So how are you prioritizing God? And let their kids know that. Let them know, like, I'm going to have some prayer time. Let them know that you're spending time with him in the morning, and then help them to figure out a time that works good for them to be able to have their daily prayers as well. Even if that's in the evening and you guys are praying out loud together. Help them at a young age to make him a priority and learn how to prioritize that time with him. The last thing is be mindful of the curriculum that you use. You can use curriculum to point back to God. I enjoy using different curriculums that intertwine him. Good and the Beautiful is not a crazy, heavy God based curriculum, but they do bring it up, and they ask you to write gratitude, and they ask you what are some of the things that you're thankful for. So I do definitely think that you can find curriculums that work into your daily life that you can go back and point to Jesus and everything. So, all right, this was a really super short episode, but I hope that you loved and enjoyed it, because I think that this is also a very important one, and I hope that you have the absolute best day. Hey friend, thanks again for joining me today on your journey to the confidence to homeschool. I hope this podcast blessed you with one more tool of success. If it did, please scroll down to the bottom of your screen and leave me a review. Share it with a friend. Just remember, confidence in anything takes practice, so let's grow.